Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you guys are all doing good tonight. We have a lot to talk about. We have some microtransactions, some sales records, and some sales fails. We have a lot to talk about tonight, but welcome. I am so extremely disappointed about so many of the topics that we're talking about. I like to have a lot of hope. I always want things to be good. I always want things to be positive. But I can't help but talk about the negative things that happen, like the topics we have tonight. I hope that the music compared to my voice is good. I hope that the sound levels are fine. It's going to be a night. I have a lot of extreme thoughts on the topics we are discussing. But yeah, maximum disappointment. I am extremely disappointed and my day has been ruined. So, tonight we are going to be talking about Margot Robbie to headline a female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I had talked a couple of months ago about how there were rumors that they wanted to do a reboot of Pirates of the Caribbean, but make it all female. And now it's actually confirmed. We're going to also talk about the Crash Bandicoot in-game purchases. I love Crash Bandicoot, like many other people. I was pretty excited when 4 was announced and we heard that it was going to actually exist. Because this is the type of game I feel like that we hear is going to exist, but I just feel like it doesn't ever happen. Like when we talk about something actually happening, like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen, it never does. Like Diablo 2. Let's look at that for example. Today, they announced the 20th anniversary. They did some sort of anniversary post for it. And everyone was just extremely disappointed because it wasn't a remake or a remaster. We were all expecting something. We're not getting it, but microtransactions, and then we're also going to talk about microtransactions in the new Magic Legends game. This was a game that I covered a couple of months ago. They have been very, I guess, I don't know how to say it. The game's been very mysterious so far. We know, like, little pieces of information, but they're finally talking about the monetization, and the game's already dead. Let's put it that way. The game hasn't even released yet, and it's already dead. And we're going to talk about The Last of Us Part 2. So, if you're a fan of The Last of Us Part 2, you'll be pretty excited to know that it has broken PlayStation 4 records. It is now the fastest selling PlayStation 4 exclusive. But the sales have also dropped 80% week 2 of the game launching. Week 2! So all of those records, while yes, they do exist, they're not holding. Like, you would think they sold a couple million copies, 4 million copies in its first 3 days, that this game would continue to go on selling. But it's not going to. Everyone that wanted the game literally purchased it day 1. So those are the topics that we are going to discuss tonight, but before we get into them, how are you all doing? I hope that you guys are doing good. I didn't do a live stream yesterday, but end of the week, per usual, I'll be doing some more live streams. That didn't take long. No, it did not take long. Dropped 80% week 2, which is going to be interesting to see how the Last of Us 2 fanboys act. I think it's fine to like a game. I think it's perfectly fine to like games. Even if I don't like them, if you like them, good for you. But the problem is that there are shills and people that are such fanboys that won't accept the fact that even though it's sold well, it's not selling well anymore. Time to get it on sale. Last of Us 2 confirmed, going on sale at a store near you. Vera getting those Black Desert Online ads since she doesn't stop talking about it. I know, literally all of my tabs that have ads, there's an ad right here for Black Desert Online, there's an ad right here for Black Desert Online. Is there one on this page? Surprisingly not. Is there one on this page? Surprisingly not. What about the 4th page? No. 2 out of the 5 tabs I have Black Desert Online ads. I love Black Desert Online. It has its problems too. It has its microtransaction problems. But overall, I think that it's a good basis of a sandbox game. Last of Us 3 sales will be abysmal. Yes. If they make a Last of Us Part 3, which I honestly don't think that they will, you know, I think that the sales would be pretty bad. Obviously, you know, with The Last of Us Part 2, a lot of people pre-ordered the game and were excited for it because they loved The Last of Us Part 1. I have not played The Last of Us 2 yet. I have watched a full playthrough of the game. I have just not played it myself because I didn't want to spend the $60 on it. I may play it at some point. I will probably purchase it when it's half price. When it's $30, I'll buy it. I watched a whole playthrough though. Start to finish. One end to another, A to B. I wasn't very impressed, but, I mean, the thing with The Last of Us Part 2 is most of it's literally cutscenes. So even though I'm watching it, it's almost as if I'm getting the same experience from it. Yes, I do think that the HBO show will still happen for The Last of Us. I do. I think that it will even do very well, because it's not The Last of Us Part 2, but it could suffer. Yeah, I saw the Twitch situation. I do think that if Cyberpunk 2077 comes out this year, which they're saying that they're planning at the end of the year for it to come out, if it still comes out at the end of the year, which I think it'll be 2021, it will be the best-selling game of the year. Even if it comes out next year, best-selling game of the year. I quote me on this, Cyberpunk 2077 will be the best-selling game of whichever year it comes out in. The Last Jedi of us, basically chaos, basically. The Last of Us 2 is a showcase of why I don't pre-order games anymore. I pre-order games still, personally, but I don't pre-order a lot of them. I only really pre-order very specific games, especially as a content creator too. I have to take that into consideration, and yeah. Game of the year, whatever year it releases in. Alright, you guys, let us start with the first topic of the night, which is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, a couple of months ago, when I was talking about like the situations with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, I was talking a lot about Pirates of the Caribbean. I am a huge fan of the franchise. I really do enjoy Pirates of the Caribbean most of the time. I thought one movie was really bad and janky, but besides that, I think that most of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are good. I am a big fan of Johnny Depp. I have been a big fan of Orlando Bloom and... what's the actress's name? I can't remember her name, but the other main actress that's been part of it. Anyway, I've always been a big fan of Pirates of the Caribbean. But I, a couple of months ago, talked about how there was a rumor going around that they were rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean, or making a separate storyline, and it was going to feature all females. Keira Knightley, that's it, thank you, Rez. Moderator, you get a gold star for the night. I remember talking about this and everyone attacking me saying that's just a rumor, that would never happen. They would never make a female Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And boy, does it feel good to say you were wrong, and I told you so. Margot Robbie is going to be headlining a female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie. This is a Bounding Into Comics article. A new report details that Harley Quinn actress Margot Robbie will headline a new female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie. The report comes from The Hollywood Reporter, who detail Margot Robbie is setting sail with help from her Birds of Prey writer, Christina Hodson. Okay, so I like Margot Robbie. I think that she is a really, really good actress. I think that she has done a lot of good movies. She always plays the part really well. She really gets into the headspace of her characters. I think that she's a beautiful girl. I think that she can play a lot of beautiful roles as well. But I feel as though she was a better Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad compared to Birds of Prey. I thought that Birds of Prey was a very bad movie. And it wasn't just because of the acting. I do think that, yes, she did okay in Birds of Prey. The rest of the actors and actresses really flopped. But the problem with it was the writing. The writing for Birds of Prey was garbage. I don't say that about many things. But the writing in Birds of Prey was 2 out of 50. Okay, 2 out of 50. It was bad. And they picked Margot Robbie to be, it sounds like, the leading actress, which, okay, I'd be okay with that. But they also picked the Birds of Prey writer to write this movie. That's the worst part of it all. Is that they... Who looked at Birds of Prey and went, what the heck? We need that writer on our project right now. Who? Because they deserve to be fired. They're gone. They deserve to be kicked out, okay? Who did that? They added, Hodson has been tapped to write a new female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean for Disney, with Robbie attached to star. While their report indicates they will be taking on the Pirates of the Caribbean brand name, the movie will not be a spin-off of the first 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies that starred Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. This is what they did. They said that it is a wholly original story with new characters under the Pirates moniker. This is how they get Johnny Depp out. So as I'm sure a lot of you know, the situation with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was a very fierce situation, and it is still going on. It has been going on for a long time. And Disney, it was rumored that they fired Johnny Depp and they were done with him after Amber Heard's Washington Post article OP came out, and then it was rumored that they actually hired him to bring him back to Pirates of the Caribbean, but this is how they get away with it. This is how they get out of a story with Johnny Depp, is because they're creating another whole new storyline for these females. We don't need Johnny Depp. Of course Johnny Depp won't be in this storyline because it's a new storyline with new characters. Go back and watch my videos that I did on Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean. I know that I said in those videos, you know what they're going to do? They're just going to say, oh, we're making a whole new, story with all new characters. Of course we won't need Johnny Depp. He's just not in this one because it's a brand new storyline. I know that I said that and I was right. I will be honest, when you hear rumors about them rebooting a franchise or making a different storyline but taking on the same moniker, I personally get a little skeptical. Just because you don't really know. It's risky because a lot of companies don't want to replace their main actors and actresses. If something sells, why would you replace the people who made it sell? But obviously, this rumor was correct. Not only will this be a new film with new characters, but it's also separate from the previously announced Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. Back in 2018, just after Aquaman actress Amber Heard wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post implying that Johnny Depp was an abuser, Disney announced they were moving forward without him in a reboot of the Pirates franchise. That op-ed is now at the center of a $50 million defamation lawsuit brought by Depp against Heard. Sean Bailey, Disney's film production chief, was asked if Pirates could survive without Johnny Depp, and he answered, of course, the most basic damn answer that you could give, we want to bring in a new energy and vitality. I love the Pirates movies, but part of the reason Paul and Rhett are so interesting is that we want to give it a kick in the pants, and that's what I've tasked them with. Continuing on though. However, the project didn't get off the ground with Deadpool writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who Bailey had originally tapped to reboot the franchise. Deadline reported in February 2019, just a couple of months after Bailey's original comments that Reese and Wernick were off the project. While they were no longer attached to it, the longtime Pirates of the Caribbean scribe Ted Elliott and Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin are now also attached to it, and according to THR, are developing the story. Now, in fact, when it was announced they were new creatives behind the Disney Pirates reboot, THR left the door open that Johnny Depp could return to the role. We all know why they're not saying Johnny Depp is gone is because they're going to get backlash for it. We know the situation with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and we know if if someone at the company comes out and says we're done with Johnny Depp and it's 100% confirmed, it's going to be the firing again. When it was announced that he wasn't part of Disney anymore and they fired him, there was huge backlash. People were outraged, and rightfully so. But with the rumors that they've brought him back, of course, they're not going to say he's 100% gone because they don't want to face that backlash again. Where was I? As for the female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean film, there have also been rumors for quite some time that a new one was in the works. Back in 2017, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man Tells No Tales star Kaya, I can't say her last name, I apologize, even advocated for a film with an all-Pirates female crew. She stated, well, when I signed up for the first one, I signed up for 2 movies. So I am contractually obligated, but I'd love to do it. I think that there's a lot we can still do. I'd like to see a Karina who takes on the helm of Barbossa on the sea, have her own all-female pirate crew, she concluded. So that's all that we know right now, is that this is confirmed that Margot Robbie is going to be headlining a female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie. This to me is disappointing because yes, I could be pretty excited for a brand new storyline in the Pirates universe. To me though, Pirates of the Caribbean just isn't the same without Johnny Depp. In my opinion, Johnny Depp is Pirates of the Caribbean. He is Captain Jack Sparrow. I will give it a chance. I will. I'm not 100% saying this is going to be bad, really, really bad, but I just have a bad feeling about it, especially with the fact that this is the writer they chose. If they had some huge named writer that was really experienced, has done really good things in the past, I would feel much more confident in it because they have a good actress. But with just the rumors about Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean, and with the writer, the Birds of Prey writer, I'm just not convinced that this movie is going to be good yet. But ultimately we have to see, and that is all that we know right now. It's kind of unfortunate that I have this feeling that we're not going to see Johnny Depp again as Captain Jack Sparrow. I like him as the character. He's always played the character very good, and I don't think we're going to see him back anymore. I hope that this is just skepticism speaking in me and that we will. I'm not sure. Flop alert. This could be a flop alert, yes. To be honest, I don't follow Pirates of the Caribbean after the 3rd. Fair enough. After the 3rd, it kind of went downhill. I still don't think that they were the worst. I think that it was 4 that I really disliked. I don't remember, though. I need to rewatch them because there was one that I really didn't like. New Ghostbusters movie. I'm pretty excited for the new Ghostbusters movie. I hope that it turns out good. That is a movie that I would like to see in theaters, if theaters, of course, are open whenever it comes out. If the world doesn't end before that, that would be great. It's going to flop like Terminator Dark Fate? I hope not. Ultimately, we're not sure. But I hope it's not a flop. The movie series reached its peak a long time ago. It's only downhill now. I still think that it could be great. Come on, guys, be positive. Give it a chance, okay, guys? Stop being so negative. Yeah, there were 5. There were 5. The more you know, right? The more you know. Salazar's Revenge was pretty okay. I don't know. I guess I'm a 1 and 2 type of person. I loved Pirates of the Caribbean 1 and 2. I felt like 3 was pretty good as well. But after that, they did pretty steeply go downhill. Let me check chat before we move into the next topic. I won't watch Pirates without Johnny Depp. Fair enough. I want J.J. Abrams to be the director. Oh no. Oh no. No, you don't. If you want that, wow. You want it to fail. You want something to laugh at. The third one was an amazing climax. Maybe The Last of Us Pirates, and it will focus on teen lesbians and death. Will be. Oh, Pikachu! Oh, Pikachu. Stop Ben realistic. Wow. You just hurt my feelings. Just discovered this channel, quality stuff. Well, thank you. I am glad that you enjoy the content I create. I do appreciate it. Guys, I think... Oh, no, I don't think this. I don't want to give Disney any ideas, but maybe they should just take all of the characters, right? All of the characters, like, in the first Pirates of the Caribbean, like, all the Pirates of the Caribbeans that exist, and turn them all female. Captain Jackie Sparrow, you know, who doesn't love it? They should make all the characters female. Female empowerment. Oh boy. I'm gonna regret that, because when that happens, when that's announced in a year, you guys are gonna yell at me. I just gave them a great idea. You're trying to compare an apple with an orange and claim it's the same thing. They're legitimately not. Wow, I'm out of the loop. How can I donate? So you can donate via PayPal. I do have the link in the email in the description, but I also just put it in chat for you. And I also have a Patreon. If you want to support the channel on a monthly basis and become a Dark Titan via Patreon, you can for just $1 a month. It really does support the channel. My channel is currently not monetized. I do not have monetization on. So the only money that comes to the channel is through donations, and I do appreciate the donations, you guys. Definitely. And also, if you donate via PayPal, I will read your message out loud. So yeah. That works. That works. Let me get my dashboard set up and we'll move on to the next topic, my friends. All right. Genocide, starvation. I love the background music. I'm into it. All right. Let's get this going. Alright. I need like a soundbite that's like, alright. But I don't have one, but I should get one. I am always reading the PayPal link is Dark Kitten Enterprise. Guys, I'm rebranding. My new channel name is Dark Kitten Enterprise. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm into it. What do you think about the Star Wars coming? Sounds pretty NSFW. I'm not sure. What happened to Streamlabs? So I've been having a problem with Streamlabs, and I've been trying to contact Streamlabs, but because of COVID-19, their responses are extremely delayed, so like having a conversation with them about a problem is like pulling teeth, because you send one message and it takes 4 days for them to reply. They send you a message It takes 4 days to reply. It's been a process, but you guys can donate via Patreon or PayPal directly, and I will read your message out loud. I do appreciate you guys donating very much. All right, so let us move into the second topic of the night, which is Crash Bandicoot 4. I am a huge fan of Crash Bandicoot, as many of you are too, I'm sure. Crash Bandicoot is just a franchise that is amazing. Let's be honest, it's just really good. And when Crash Bandicoot 4 was announced, I personally was extremely excited for it because we have been lately getting remakes and new versions of classic games, and Crash Bandicoot to me is just best of the best. And I was very excited for Crash Bandicoot 4. This is a game that I would have legitimately pre-ordered. Like, I don't pre-order a lot of games, but this one definitely would have been a pre-order game. But now we are hearing that it is going to have in-game purchases. Now, as I read this article, I do want to preface it with, we don't know what kind. It's not like this egregious monetization method, and I just want to say that the smallest of the small purchases, even if they're skins or cosmetics, could technically be in-game purchases. So let's not take out our pitchforks yet, but we need to be careful. We need to be vigilant with how we approach Crash Bandicoot 4. So this is a VG247 article. It's one of the only articles I could find. Crash Bandicoot 4 will have in-game purchases according to the Microsoft Store. The official Microsoft Store page for Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, mentions that the game offers in-app purchases. If you visit the store page for Crash Bandicoot 4, you will see a blue pre-order button on the top right corner of your screen, as well as mentioning that the game costs $59.99 plus, and that's scheduled to release on October 2nd, 2020. You'll probably notice that there's a little addendum tacked onto the bottom, noting that Crash Bandicoot 4 will feature in-game purchases. Now, first of all, I was very surprised, like many other people, that this game was going to be $60. I am not mad at it being $60. I can understand a remaster being like half price, $30. I definitely agree with that. I'm okay with that. But we're talking about Crash Bandicoot 4. We're talking about a new game. Being at $60 isn't surprising. I know a lot of people were very angry that it's not a $30 or $40 price tag because, oh, it's Crash Bandicoot. Just because a franchise is old doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve a full price ticket, I guess I could say. So the $60 to me isn't a big deal. I personally expected it to be $60. But what is very surprising is the fact that on the Microsoft Store, it is saying that there's going to be in-game purchases, which means microtransactions. At the moment, it's not quite clear what these in-game purchases could be for. However, the description on the Microsoft Store page notes that the players who digitally purchase the game will receive the totally tubular skins for both Crash and Coco. It's reasonable to assume that the microtransactions in Crash Bandicoot 4 then will probably include a variety of skins for each playable character. And it is also worth noting that the nefarious Neo Cortex is playable, meaning that you might be able to get some cool skins for the Dastardly Doc. I, again, am personally okay with there being cosmetic microtransactions in games, to a point, because I think that it's not bad to have cosmetic microtransactions in a game, as long as they are not like, oh, $100 for one skin. I think that, yes, there needs to be a way for developers and studios to make money after your initial purchase, but they first of all need to be optional, like cosmetics and skins, but they need to be fairly priced. And that's why I don't want to instantly rag on this game, because we don't know what the in-game purchases are going to be. They might only have 4 or 5 cosmetic skins that you can buy. let's say they're $5 each. That to me is perfectly reasonable to put in a game. But we don't know if there's going to be other forms of cosmetics or boosts or content that's behind a paywall. I don't like paywalls in games, but it's hard to judge. Again, Crash Bandicoot is a huge franchise. A lot of people love it. I love it too. Maybe this sounds a little bit biased of me, but I'm someone that doesn't ever want to just bring out my pitchfork and instantly assume the worst situation. But I also want people that are planning to buy it to know what what they could be possibly buying. Because this game might come out at $60 and might have, you know, a lot. Blue? Yeah, me, Angry Joe, I like it. Blue? Blue? I know. But seriously, it's just... On one hand, I don't want to be worried. I want to scroll past this and say, hey, it just says in-game purchases. Who cares? But on the other hand, as someone that sticks up for consumers a lot and points out a lot of problems and how consumers are used and abused like they're a wallet a lot of the time, I feel it's important to bring this up and to read this. Because this is arguably going to be one of the most anticipated launches of the year. Since it was announced, it's all that I've heard about is CB4, 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 and rightfully so. I mean, it's Crash fucking Bandicoot. But I'm worried. I hope that it's just a variety of skins. Maybe you can also earn them with in-game currency. Even if it's a lot of in-game currency, maybe you can still at least earn them with in-game currency, but we don't know. And I just want to say that. We do also know, as the article finishes off, that it has also been confirmed that there will be online leaderboards, so it's possible that skins or other cosmetic items could play into your online appearance. But that's all that we know right now. It is supposed to have in-game purchases, as the addendum on the Microsoft Store says. I don't want to jump the gun, but I also want everyone to stay aware of the fact that it does say in-game purchases. When we finally hear about the monetization practice that they're using, and if there are, what kind of microtransactions are in the game, I guess I should say, I will let you guys know. Next update of theirs on the microtransactions and in-game purchases, I will definitely cover it in probably a live stream. So that's all that I really had to talk about with Crash Bandicoot 4. Are you guys excited for Crash Bandicoot 4? Put a 1 in chat if you are very excited for it, and put a 2 in chat if you're not. Or just say yes or no. Either one. Please, no arguing in chat. It's okay to have a civil conversation, but to argue and call each other names isn't very civil. 2 res. A 2? Anyone with a 2 gets kicked out. Anyone with a 2 gets kicked out. Oh no, why is it all 2s? No one's excited for Crash Bandicoot 4? Who are you guys? Who is my audience? I thought I knew you all better. I'm excited for Crash Bandicoot 4. I guess it's the nostalgia in me. I'm pretty excited for it. I won't lie. A 1 and a 2? That's cheating, okay? I know that, again, a big problem for a lot of people is the price. It is a $60 game, but I don't think that the price is the problem. I think it's the worry of the in-game purchases. Who knows, though? Please don't spam the chat. You don't have to spam it with, like, 5 1s. You're excited. I understand. Before we move on to The Last of Us Part 2, though, I will check chat and read chat for a moment. Crash 4 looks like how I thought the PS2 games looked. Yeah. You go back to older games and it's like, wow, this looks awful, but I remember it looking great. I wanted to tell you guys really quickly. I wanted to show you guys a game that graphics maybe don't hold up. Dark Souls is the spiritual successor to this game. Demon Souls. I decided because they announced the Demon Souls remake, I was going to replay through Demon Souls and also the Dark Souls series. So I did pick up new copies, a copy of Dark Souls Remastered, and I couldn't find my copy of Demon Souls, so I purchased a new one. It's sealed. It hurts because I bought it to play, but it's also sealed. So I'm kind of at this corner of, do I really want to open this? Do I want to play it that bad? Because I do really want to play it, but it's sealed. So now I'm like, do I just buy a digital copy even though I have a physical copy? It's rough. It's rough. But I am extremely excited to play those again. Sealed? Oh my god, it is sealed, but it's not that expensive of a game. I'll be honest. The prices haven't skyrocketed yet, but sealed. Demon Souls Poggers. Oh no, Poggers. I will stream it at some point. I want to play through it myself, but I may stream Demon's Souls eventually. I know that they announced the remake, which is, I think, 2 years away, so it's still quite a while away. Don't open it. And then the comment under it is, open it. Should I roll the dice? Evens, I keep it sealed. Odds I open it. It's even. It was a 4. It was a 4. Keep it sealed. I'll open it. Lol W. This isn't Twitch, guys. This isn't Twitch. Alright, everyone. Dark Souls, Vera just might break her controller. Oh no. Alright. So we're moving on to the Last of Us Part 2 conversation. Now, I'm gonna start with the positive news about Last of Us 2. Because you know what? I'm accused a lot of being just a negative person. I never talk about the positive things that I don't like. You know, if I don't like a game, I don't talk about the positives. So I'm gonna talk about the positives. And then we are gonna talk about the negatives. Oh no, Keck W. The Last of Us Part 2 opens to a PlayStation 4 record. Okay, alright, just wait. The Last of Us Part 2 became one of those games surrounded by maximum hype and intrigue prior to release. After the successful launch of the original title on the PS3 in 2013, fans eagerly waited 7 years for a worthy sequel. 7 years. 7. It's so long. Naughty Dog finally has released The Last of Us Part 2 on PS4 last week, and since then the game has garnered immense popularity and acclaim. Oh boy, are they out of touch. They don't have the touch. They don't have the power. The action-packed sequel blends adventure with elements of survival and horror, centering on a post-apocalyptic setting. The game sparks a variety of emotions while expanding on the relationship between characters. Joel and 1, what kind of relationship does that give? The world is not only more incredible this time, but equally dangerous as well. With enhanced gameplay mechanics, ultra-realistic graphics, and compelling storytelling, it seems nothing short of a Hollywood blockbuster. So, The Last of Us Part 2 has become the fastest-selling PlayStation 4 exclusive. On June 21st, Sony Interactive Entertainment shared the news in a blog post from Eric Lempel, Senior Vice President of PlayStation Worldwide Marketing. The Last of Us Part 2 is now officially the fastest-selling first-party PlayStation 4 exclusive ever. Naughty Dog released the game on June 19th, and by the third day, June 21st, it sold more than 4 million copies worldwide. Marvel's Spider-Man previously sold 3.3 million copies, and God of War made 3.1 million sales during their first first 3 days. The 4 million copies sold during the first 3 days of the survival game overtakes the 2.7 million opening weekend sales for Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4 by quite a margin. The Last of Us Part 2 has also toppled off Animal Crossing New Horizons. Its launch weekend sales around 40% higher than the Nintendo Switch exclusive. And Neil Druckmann, director and Naughty Dog's vice president, had a message to share with the remarkable feat. We are so immensely grateful to the millions of fans around the world who have played The Last of Us Part 2 and shared their experiences with us over the last week. We set out to tell a new kind of story, one that deals with difficult themes and would challenge you in unexpected ways. Hearing how the experience has resonated with so many of you and witnessing the types of thoughtful discussions it has sparked has been incredible. The Last of Us Part 2 was made possible thanks to the efforts of hundreds of talented and passionate developers here at Naughty Dog. We can imagine no greater honor than seeing the same passion mirrored by the people playing it. Thank you for helping us reach this amazing milestone. You know what? I'll give Naughty Dog a congratulations. You guys sold a lot, and I mean a lot, of copies of your game week 1. And that's the wording, ladies and gentlemen. Week 1. Week 1 sales and first 3-day sales were fantastic. People who pre-ordered the game picked up their copies. People who decided that the reviews were good enough bought the game, played the game. And apparently those are the only people who actually wanted to buy and play the game. The Last of Us Part 2 sales dropped 80% week on week in the UK. The Last of Us Part 2 sold around 4 million copies in its first 3 days. With that number, the game became the fastest selling game for the PlayStation 4. Again, congratulations to Naughty Dog. You guys sold a lot of copies of your game. But you are not going to hold that record forever. Its sales, however, have dropped 80% week on week, which is a huge fall, but not unusual. This is the point that I want to make, is yes, it is not unusual. Usually the first week, the sales are huge. But the problem is that they've called this game a game that's gotten amazing reviews. This game has gotten 95%, 100%. If this game was truly a masterpiece, I don't think would have dropped 80%. Because the fanboys of Naughty Dog and The Last of Us all bought their games already. And with it falling, yeah, it's not unusual, but it's not very usual either. The figures for the UK as compiled by GfK. Keep in mind these are based on box sales only and not digital sales figures, although The Last of Us Part 2 was the #1 game last week and the game's sales dropped by a huge margin. The game has topped the UK charts for 2 consecutive charts for now, but is likely to lose its place next week. A game that is being acclaimed by critics as a game that everyone has to play, that's getting 90%, 95%, 100%, 10 out of 10s, 1 millions out of 10s. It definitely isn't holding the hype. As GamesIndustry.biz mentions, although 80% is a huge fall, it's not unusual for a game that sold so well during its first week. To compare the figures, Uncharted 4, a story-driven linear game, saw a 78% drop in sales during its second week. Interestingly though, people who haven't played the first The Last of Us game are buying the game rapidly. In boxed sales, The Last of Us Remastered for the PS4 saw an 82% rise in sales week on week. The thing with Uncharted 4 that I want to point out because I saw people arguing about it in chat earlier. Uncharted 4 stopped selling very quickly. Yes, it dropped, you know, what, 78%. But a couple of months after it was out, maybe 6 months later, I remember reading people writing articles and seeing sales numbers that the game just wasn't selling anymore. That's worrying. For a game that's supposed to be the best game ever, like this is the most unique experience anyone's ever had, you would think that it wouldn't have dropped so rapidly week 2. I was waiting to see these numbers. I was waiting to see it only be like a 50%. Let's say sales dropped 50%. That would be good. I was waiting to see sales drop by only like 10% or something, like something ridiculous. That would be good. Dropping 80% may be usual or semi-usual, but that's not good. That's not good. Again, you know, I read it at the beginning. Yes, it sold huge, 4 million copies in the first 3 days, but it's not holding that hype. And that's a big problem. If this is supposed to be the game of the year, well, everyone that wanted to purchase it already purchased it. That's not very promising. That's all that I really had to talk about with The Last of Us Part 2. I've talked about The Last of Us Part 2 quite a bit on the channel. Again, even though this isn't unusual, semi-unusual, it's still not good. I see someone asking, I haven't played the game myself. I have watched a full playthrough though. I have watched it from start to end. I won't buy it unless it's in a clearance bin or unless someone that I know has a copy and they say, hey, play it. I've seen the whole game at this point, which was a good enough experience for me personally. It's not very good. It has very good moments, but overall, they missed the mark in my opinion. Let me read chat though. I already went through Crash 4 having microtransactions. Right now, Crash 4 does have an addendum on the Microsoft Store saying that it will have in-game purchases, but that's all that we really know. Feel free to rewind the live stream though. I don't take the live streams down, so you guys can go back and rewatch them. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Keep up the great work. I joined because of your Angry Joe coverage. Well, thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate it. Again, guys, if you want to donate, you can via the link or the email in the description to PayPal. Thank you for the donation, though. I do appreciate it. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'll put the link in chat. Because I saw someone asking a couple minutes ago. The Last of Us Jedi got him. The Last Jedi of Us? I don't know. We have to figure out a good way to say it, because I feel like The Last of Us Jedi. Well, I mean, it's not catchy. I just subscribed to. Well, welcome to all the new subscribers. I do appreciate it. Nier Automata was a great game. Did any of you? Well, I see some of you have played it. I've seen like 2 or 3 of you talking about it. Don't you know that it's bigoted and hateful to give your critical opinions on commercial products put up by multi-million-dollar companies? I have internalized misogyny, so it's fine. The internalized misogyny in me is shaking. It's shaking. The last straw, more like. Beautiful game, but flat characters, overblown story, destruction of a beloved character, and that makes you play 10 more hours worth of that same character. Lame. Tim, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's beautiful. Graphically, it is pretty. Not enough combat. Not a good story. The characters, of course you love Joel in 1 and you love Ellie, but well, I feel as though after a while I didn't like Ellie anymore. I feel like she's just such a different character. I wasn't a fan. I feel like if they had condensed it a little bit more, I would have maybe liked it more if it was a little bit shorter. You know, the Abby part, get rid of that. Just get rid of it. Or only have a couple of hours, because that was far too long. The Last Jedi of Us. Anita Sarkeesian for president with Neil Druckmann as first lady. Oh my. Oh my. My goodness. I mean, okay. Oh no. Oh no. Anita Sarkeesian and Neil Druckmann. Oh brother. Oh brother. Yeah. Ellie is not Ellie, thank you. I feel like the character just was... I know that she's older and she's matured, but I don't know, I was expecting her to just be a little bit different. Everyone, we are about to talk about some more microtransactions. I'm extremely disappointed about this one. I had high hopes, and then the hopes dwindled, and now the hopes are just Thanos snapped. I've talked a little bit about Magic Legends. I remember when this game was announced. It was supposed to be an MMO action RPG. This game sounded like a real multiplayer experience. This game sounded really good. And then we saw gameplay. And we found out the company behind it, besides, of course, Wizards of the Coast. We found out about what the game was based on and who was helping create the game. And all of it went to shit. Magic Legends and monetization. This was actually posted today, and it took me a little while to really admit the fact that this game is going to be bad. I had hope. I love Magic the Gathering. I'm a big fan of ARPGs most of the time, but this isn't it. The executive producer shares a high-level overview of monetization in Magic Legends. When a company is making a post about monetization in a game, you know it's going to be bad. 90% of the time. Sometimes it's not bad, but I feel 90% of the time, when a company specifically has to talk about monetization, you know that it's not going to be very good. It's not going to be very good. Magic Legends is a free-to-play, persistent online action RPG that puts you in the boots of your own planeswalker. Over a variety of blogs, we have discussed classes, artifacts, deck creation, and a few of our progression systems to highlight all of the things you'll get to experience in the game. We have more exciting features and content to share with you over the coming months, which will further expand your understanding of how you'll adventure throughout the multiverse and become more powerful as a planeswalker. But it's time to cover some high-level monetization details for Magic Legends and how it will factor into the overall game experience. This isn't a bad screenshot, I suppose. It's maybe just not very good. It's just not maybe very good. First things first. Magic Legends will not be selling content updates or playable missions. Our goal is for the entire game to be playable and fun from beginning through end and beyond without having to spend a dime. Period. This statement is good. it's good to hear that they want you to be able to play start to finish without paying. The problem that I have with companies that try to do this is that they tell you, as this will say, they're selling you pay for convenience. And 80% of the time, pay for convenience items are really pay to win. We will be offering a variety of items for purchase that will give players alternative options when building their decks or loadouts, but not give them a numerical power advantage. Building on that philosophy, we will be offering an in-game currency exchange just like Cryptic's other free-to-play titles. Neverwinter and Star Trek Online. Games that are riddled with microtransactions? What? No wonder they failed. You'll be able to exchange a specific currency earned through play, in this case Aether, with other players for actual cash store currency at a conversion rate that is completely community driven. The exchange empowers people to purchase cash store items or lower the cost of them by playing the game. Booster packs will be a staple, let me restart that. I messed that one up. Booster packs have been a staple of the Magic the Gathering card game for over 26 years as a way to build a library of cards that allows players to construct different decks for different situations. It will also be offering booster packs as a way to collect spells and shards of spells in order to expand and level your spell library. If you choose to purchase these booster packs, there are several other types of items you have a chance to unlock in addition to spells. These range from unique artifacts to unique spells and even a unique class. These classes and items are not more powerful than the free ones or other items that exist in the game, but are different horizontally, literally saying vertically and horizontally doesn't make your argument any better. They've said multiple times here, oh, vertically and horizontally. That doesn't make your argument sound any better. They provide a different set of play options, but don't give a power advantage. The Geomancer and Mind Mage are equally powerful ways to experience the multiverse, but they offer different and unique gameplay experiences. So there's always been this argument that booster packs in Magic the Gathering are like loot boxes. I personally don't see them that way. I've kind of explained my stance on it in the past. I do think that it is a bit different because you have things like you don't have to purchase booster packs in Magic the Gathering. You can just trade and whatnot, and just the way that booster packs work are a little bit different. They are similar. I will admit, booster packs in Magic the Gathering are very similar to loot boxes. But the way that they're describing this is not the way they should have described it. They should have said it very differently. They are making it sound like it's just a loot box. Oh, hey, it's called a booster pack, but it's really a loot box. I want to give them a chance because we don't know the odds. We don't know if there's going to be 500 items you can get out of a booster pack and, one has a 1 in 2 million chance to get. We don't know the odds. We don't know if they're going to talk about them at some point. But it really depends on how rare some things are to get. We really don't know. But the way that they explained it just doesn't sound very positive. It literally sounds like a loot box, just called a booster pack. Classes are a large part of your progression in Magic Legends, and having a variety of playstyles at your disposal makes deck building, artifact collecting, and loadout creation all the more interesting. In addition to the classes that are included in the game for free, we will be selling themed Planeswalker classes that give you more class options to choose from when constructing your loadouts. There it is. They're telling you, yeah, you have classes for free, but if you really want the classes to be good or you really want the classes to be cool, you have to spend money. These classes will have their own progression trees, traits, powers, abilities, and a unique costume that can be worn on its own or mixed with the costume parts from other classes to customize the look of your planeswalker. As before, these classes are not more powerful than the free classes that exist in the game, but are different horizontally. They're different horizontally. Okay. I don't think that this is going to appeal to a lot of people because they're saying, while yes, it's not any better, we'll put that in air quotes, if you want this cool, much better experience, you have to pay the money, and I hate that. It's like, yeah, we'll give you this dumbed down, dull, tone-deaf version of an item, but if you just spend a little bit of money, you can get this really cool, awesome, customizable version. It's honestly kind of shady to do that. While we have a variety of progression systems in Legends, we'll also be adding a Battle Pass system for added progression and even more rewards. It will have a completely free track that features currency packs, options, unique spells, and artifacts if you engage in the system regularly. This is what they do in Magic the Gathering Arena. You have a battle pass system. Yes, as a free player, you can earn items and customizations and booster packs, but if you pay that extra money, you can get all of these other items. I personally don't mind a battle pass system if it's done right. If it's done right, then okay. I understand, again, developers need to make money past the initial purchase, and since this is a free game, they want to have some way to make money out of players, but we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know how this is really going to work. They say the seasons will provide plenty of time to collect all of the great rewards while giving you interesting challenges to complete while you progress. There will also be free events which will feature free contents and unique rewards regularly. That doesn't sound bad. Sounds like most MMOs. And it also says they will be offering a variety of convenience items at launch over time, such as loadout slots, deck slots, XP boosts, and other items that assist you leveling through the game. This is the problem. I am a huge MMO player. I play tons of MMOs. I play Star Wars: The Old Republic, World of Warcraft, Black Desert Online, Arc Age. I've played Terra. I've played a lot of MMOs. I am a really big MMO player. I happen to play a lot of Asian MMOs because they come from that market and move to our market, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. The biggest problem is that they label things as convenience, but they're never convenience. They're staples. Loadout slots and deck slots, basically inventory slots, are crucial to how you play the game. And if they're saying you'll be able to just buy these convenience items like XP boosts and inventory slots, that's not convenience. That's pay to win. Those things are staples in how you play the game. It's like Black Desert Online. One thing I don't like about Black Desert Online is that people label things pay for convenience. It's like there's a weight system, so the more items you pick up, the more heavy your character gets. That weight that you buy through the real money currency is crucial. When you're starting a new character, you want to spend $80 on a new character. You need a costume, you need inventory slots, you need weight. These are crucial things to your experience. And they're labeling it right here as convenience, and I think that's the problem, is that they shouldn't have items like this. They shouldn't. They should put them in the game that you buy with in-game currency and not real money. Again, it says none of these are required, but they do allow for faster progression. I hate this marketing. I think that this marketing tactic's awful, and this is the part that gets me, is calling it convenience items when it's not convenience items. In the end, we really don't know a lot about Magic Legends. I want to give them one chance to see how this is going to be. They might do the monetization perfectly, 100%. But we are talking about them teaming with Cryptic. And I don't think that Cryptic is going to do a good job with this. And I think that this game is going to be a pay-to-win bullshit game. Don't quote me. I don't know. I would love to see how they're handling monetization. Will I play this game when it comes out? Yeah. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm a huge Magic the Gathering fan. I'm a huge MMO fan. But this is really controversial to me. Calling something convenience when it's clearly not convenience is wrong. I do agree with Rez. Why would I play a game that intentionally places barriers between me and the fun? And I agree with that. That is all that I had to discuss in this live stream, though, you guys. I will move to the Q&A portion of the live stream. If you have any questions or topics you want me to discuss, please feel free to put them in chat. But tonight we did talk about Magic Legends and monetization, The Last of Us Part 2 having extremely good sales, fastest selling PS4 exclusive, but the sales also dropping 80% week 2, the Crash Bandicoot 4 in-game purchases, microtransactions, and Margot Robbie headlining in a female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I will check chat, and we will move to the Q&A portion of the stream. Paying for new character slots too is annoying. Yeah, it's very... How do I say this? Like, it's very shitty, I guess you could say. It's very shitty that they tell you it's convenience things, but it's clearly things that you're going to need. You're going to need more deck slots and character slots. You are going to need XP boosts. I mean, I guess XP boosts you don't need, but like, you are going to need all of these things that they're listing. They're crucial to how you play the game. It's not convenience in my opinion. I really don't think that it is. It is kind of pay to win. I'll give them a chance, and I will wait to see how the game turns out and how the monetization is. But hearing them literally have to put a post up about monetization to like clear their stances of what they think of this monetization, it doesn't give me confidence in the game. It really, really doesn't. Female pirates, no thanks. I'm not necessarily against the idea of a female Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I just want there to be a good Pirates of the Caribbean movie. That is my criteria, is it has to be good. It just has to be good. And I don't think it's gonna be good. I'm not sure. I suppose I don't know. Let me read chat though. Hold on one second, you guys. Alright, there we go. Do you think the fact that Mad Dogs refused to refund The Last of Us 2 had an impact on the initial sales? No. I'll stick to the cards. I play Magic the Gathering, but with the decisions that Wizards of the Coast has made over the past couple of weeks, with them firing artists because they have their own opinions and they follow people on Twitter, which we did discuss in the last Titans Table that is still up on the channel, I've really, really been critical of Wizards of the Coast, and it's going to stay that way until they change. I'm pretty hyped for Cyberpunk, but that's about it. I'm personally really excited about Cyberpunk. I think that it's going to be a very good game. I really hope that it's a good game. It is a game that I am planning on purchasing day one. I am going to pre-order it. I was waiting for CD Projekt Red to put on GOG the pre-order and to see if they put up any other packages, because if they have, like, you know, a deluxe edition, I'm going to buy the deluxe edition. I'm not sure if they will, but I do have to pre-order Cyberpunk eventually here. Tony Hawk? Tony Hawk, which number is the Tony Hawk game that's coming out? Twitter is disgusting nowadays. I personally have fallen out of the, I don't want to say I've fallen out of the Twitter sphere, but Twitter for me is difficult because I would like to use alternatives to Twitter, but Twitter is a very useful tool as a content creator. Personally, I think that Twitter is a platform that a lot of people don't need to use, but it is a very good way to keep up with your favorite content creators and news and whatnot, and I know a lot of people use it. How's Cyberpunk 2077 doing on GOG pre-order sales wise? I don't think that they've talked about pre-orders numbers at all. There is a goodies collection, no idea what it is though, on GOG. GOG Cyberpunk 2077. Let me check GOG real quick, because last time I checked it was only on, yeah, there's only the $60 version up. I do plan to buy, like, if they put out a higher edition, like a $80 edition or $100 edition, I would buy it. But I only see the $60 version up currently. I think it's because they haven't really announced them yet. I'm not sure. I would like to buy a special edition of the game though. That would be good. Yeah, there were a lot of subreddits that were banned today. A lot of political subreddits, a lot of subreddits were removed today because Reddit is actually going through the process of, like, tightening their rules. So, do you want to make a bet for Game of the Year? I would bet that Cyberpunk 2077 will be... Cyberpunk 2077 will be the Game of the Year if it comes out this year or next year. I think, again, I still have this gut feeling that it's going to come out next year in, like, January or February. If it comes out this year, it will blow away The Last of Us Part 2. It will. Nintendo took down one of my favorite YouTubers' videos today, Boundary Break, Animal Crossing. I don't know about that situation. Feel free to post it in the Discord, though, and I will look into it. Alright, you guys, I am going to end the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do very much so appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. If you all are not already part of the Discord, please make sure to join it. We are very active there. I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube does not notify you all. If you are not already, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month. It really does help support the channel. Soon I am going to be doing exclusive monthly live streams. Once we hit 50 patrons or Dark Titans, it is on the it is linked as a goal on Patreon. But once we hit 50 supporters, I am going to start doing a monthly exclusive live stream. So that's always fun. Feel free to join for like just $1 a month. I linked it all in chat in case you are not, in case you, like, are watching mobile. Do you want to make a money bet for Game of the Year 2020? It's going to be Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to be. But alright, you all, thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it, and have a fantastic night, everybody.